Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this individual executive member decision. My name's Callum Wernham. I'm a Democratic and Electoral Services Specialist. Making the decision today is Councillor Lindsay Ferris. He's our executive member for planning and local plan. And from the officer side, we have James McCabe, who's a senior planning officer within the growth and delivery team. And I'm going to hand over to James just to walk us through the report.
Thank you very much, Callum. Yeah, so the climate change interim policy position statement is the subject of today's decision. So, by way of a bit of background, where this has come from is effectively the Climate Emergency Action Plan, which the Council have been working on for a number of years now. One of the recommendations arising from that piece of work was to explore the potential to introduce a supplementary planning document, which sets out climate change considerations prior to the adoption of the local plan update. Now, procedurally and legally, it's not possible to introduce new standards through an SPD, so the policy update would need to come first through the local plan update. But what we can seek to do is formally sort of encourage and incentivise higher sustainability standards through an adopted position, which effectively confirms that development proposals that go above and beyond adopted policies will be considered positively within the planning balance. So that's the purpose of this document. So yeah, it effectively formally confirms that the climate emergency, which the Council declared in 2019, and the delivery of higher sustainability standards will be material when assessing planning applications. So very briefly, the document outlines the background to the climate emergency situation within Wokingham. It then provides an overview of the key legislative and policy context for the planning system around tackling climate change. It outlines what the adopted policy position is in the existing development plan, and sets out how those policies should be applied to their fullest effect, including any kind of material considerations which have changed since then, which should be factored into how those policies are interpreted. And then it also gives an overview of the emerging local plan policy position, which will include a whole suite of ambitious policies around tackling climate change. And then a concluding sort of section which kind of summarises what we expect from applicants and decision makers as regards to the document. So the idea is that if the recommendation is that this will be approved, be published on our website, and then it will then become a material consideration effectively in the planning decision making process. So that's it. The recommendations that we're seeking today is for that document to be formally adopted as such.
Thank you for that explanation. This is a very useful move forward, because we're all concerned about including as much of the climate change proposals into the future local plan and what I would call future-proofing the climate issues. And this document enables us to set forward to the people who put forward their planning applications and developers to indicate that we have a strong desire to include all these elements associated with the climate change. And I'm happy with the document. It's come through from the original call on to have a climate emergency, and it has been worked on over a number of months. So I don't have anything specific about it. It would be useful to know when this can come into fruition, so that we can do, and how it would be used by the council.
Yeah, thanks, Lindsay. So the subject to the recommendation and the call-in period, effectively the document would become live early in January. So the intention is that it would be published on the planning policy section of the website. It will be shared with development management officers, who will start advertising that with their pre-app discussions, with their discussions with applicants, and effectively as soon as it's published, it becomes material from that point in the decision-making process.
Thank you. I don't have any more questions.
Brilliant. So just for anybody following, the recommendation is set out on agenda page 5, and it is that the executive member for planning and local plan approves the climate change interim policy position statement contained in enclosure 1 and agrees that it form a material planning consideration when determining planning applications. So we'll now just quickly sign the decision sheet. And as James mentioned earlier, subject to the standard 5-day call-in period, this decision will go live and can become implemented. And with that, I will close the meeting. Thank you very much.